All right, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to skin a muskrat here. Got one of our muskrats from last season, been saving it to do a little how-to video here. So we're going to give it a shot. To start, again, I like using a pointed knife for my muskrats as well. Similar to the mink video, if you guys watched that one. I like using this pointed knife. And again, we're going to be using this smaller dog chain, like so, to skin out this muskrat. So we'll just hook this dog chain on here, get a loop going. I skin my muskrats relatively similar to how I skin my mink. So we're going to put this back foot in through there like so. I'm going to raise them up just a little bit. And what we're going to do with this muskrat, instead of cutting down and around the vent, we're going to make a cut from ankle to halfway in the tail there. We're going to make a cut up there, and then we'll do the same thing from the other side. And then we'll kind of open them up and pull them down. First thing I always do on my muskrats, I remove the feet. Similar to the mink video, if you guys saw that one. I like to remove the feet on them first. Just throw it in there. Take this foot off. It just allows for those arms to pull a lot easier. You know, these smaller animals do not have a very long arm, like say a raccoon does, to where there's a lot of fur on there, so you can just pull it out and cut it. These ones, you kind of just want to leave most of that leg on there. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to start in this ankle right here. We're going to make our cut, maybe, right up towards the center of that, where that tail meets the fur. It's a well-furred muskrat. Keep cutting upwards, like so. My knife needs sharpened very badly, but using a dull knife on a muskrat isn't necessarily a bad idea. They are relatively thin-furred. It can be easy to mess up if you're not careful. So we're going to cut up. Now you can see we're getting to where, I don't want to say the scales of that tail, but that's what I'll use for this. To where the scales of that tail meet the fur. We've made a line from our ankle up to the base of this tail. We're going to put the other foot in there and do the same thing. Let's see, get this other foot in here. Maybe, like so. We're going to come in here, do our cut up on the other side, the exact same cut, just like so. Come through here. And yes, guys, there's multiple ways to skin a muskrat. You can turn them inside out like a sock if you want to. There's a lot of different ways, a lot of faster ways too. I'm just trying to show you guys what I think is probably the simplest way for a beginner. This is how I learned to do it. So we'll be coming up here, we're getting near that tail. I'm going to cut up, should be getting close. Now you can see we are right where that tail meets the fur. Okay, so now we've gotten to this point, we have it split up to the middle of the tail on both sides. Now I'm going to start freeing this up. I'm just going to start kind of pulling outward, like so. This one is also still kind of frozen. I'm going to do the same on the top side. I'll show you guys why here in a second. I'm just grabbing both sides of this and pulling them outward right now. It's that simple, really. It's not too complex of a deal. So once we get towards the back of this muskrat, you can see my thumb in there freed up. We're going to do that on both sides. Get our fingers ran through there and pull this upwards towards that tail. Now you can see we got the fur pulled up to the scales of that tail. We're going to take our knife in there and cut that. Leave as much fur on there as you can. Take our knife and just cut that off. You can see we're not leaving any fur on this tail on our back side. There we go. Hopefully my big hands aren't in the way. We'll do the same thing on the belly side. Get our fingers ran through there, pull it up to the tail. And we're just gonna stick our knife in there. There we go. We have that baby freed up from the tail. So now, I'm gonna make a cut around this ankle. We'll do the same thing on the other ankle to free up these thighs. Like so. That one is freed up. We'll just pull her down. Getting a little bit of flesh on there, a little bit of meat. I don't want that. So we're just gonna make a couple cuts there. There. Now we're just gonna work this muskrat down. And you can see we have that back freed up on this end. I like freeing up the belly side too. Normally you have to make a couple cuts in here. Especially if it's a male muskrat, you'll have to. I'm not sure what this one is yet. We're just going to free that belly area up there. Get that to where it's pulling down. A bit of fat here. Trim up. I try and leave as much as I can on these animals, guys. It makes it to where I can flesh them a lot faster. Muskrats, there's almost nothing on them to flesh off. So if you can leave as much as you can on this carcass, you'll be a lot better off. So we'll get this leg here freed up. On this bottom side leg, normally you can see how I've just pulled that out, kind of similar to how we did the tail. And I'm just going to take my knife in there and cut that off, free that up. So there we go. We have this muskrat skinned down past the hips, okay? Now, I like to adjust my chain. I'm probably going to have to lower my winch down. I like to put it around the hips of the muskrat when skinning them this way. I tend to avoid accidentally ripping them in half that way. Now you can see we have them set up here. I'll lower them down so the camera's got a better angle. Try and free up as much membrane on this belly as you can. They have a very thin belly membrane and it can get pretty messy in a hurry. I'm hoping that I don't do that with this one, but you just never know. They are not very hardy animals. It reminds me a lot of like rabbit fur almost, just very thin leather, pretty similar really. So we're gonna pull down on the back side here. I'm gonna free this belly up a little bit more. Right there, it's kind of dragging some meat along with me. So we'll just keep, you can see that abdomen just popped open. That's what I was trying to avoid. You got to be relatively gentle with these muskrats or that happens. I tend to get in too big of a hurry most of the time. I'm just going to keep skinning them down here, trying to free up this belly as much as I can. Like so. These bellies are a really sensitive part on this muskrat, so bear with me. They kind of frustrate me myself sometimes. I tend to skin them on a table like a sock. I've found that seems to avoid these issues. We'll just keep skinning them down here like so. Hopefully we can start pulling them now. There we go. All right, I think we got that mostly freed up. We'll just start pulling them down here. We'll start getting towards the shoulder area. You can see the shoulder blade starting to come through on the back side. Here's our arm right here. We're going to just stick our finger, jam our thumb through that arm, and pull that leg out, just like so. Just up, I'm pulling upwards and downwards at the same time. Get to the other leg here. We're going to do the exact same thing. There we go. That arm just popped out. I see I got a little meat on the back side I'd like to clean up off of there. Okay, so now we're going to work this muskrat down. They have relatively small heads. I'm getting to an ear on that side. Oh, let's see. Okay, so now we've gotten to our skull. You see this white cartilage right here. That is the ear on this muskrat. We're going to cut straight in on that ear. You can see that ear just popped open. That ear is free. Do the same thing on the other side here, like so. That ear is now free. I like to cut my ears on my rats just a little bit bigger than most probably do, so I can get my thumb in there. I'm gonna skin down. You can see right here, it's getting a little darker and the tissue is thinner. That's an eyeball. Same thing on the other side. Our eyeball is coming right there where it's getting darker. I'll try and do this side so you guys can see. We're just gonna cut in, and that's our eyeball. We just made a cut there and freed that up. I'm gonna come around, cut some of that cheek meat there to open up that jaw. I'm gonna cut the eye on the other side, just like so. And now that's freed up. I'm gonna open up this jaw over here, and it should start coming down with relative ease here. Free up that jaw, couple cuts, pull down. Kind of just like to work my knife around here when I can. And now we're to the nose down here. You can see I just put a little mark right here. That's our nose. That's where the fur meets the cartilage of the nose. We're just gonna cut through that. And there's our finished, well, not finished, there's our skinned muskrat. I'll turn them first side out for you guys to see. There we go, guys. There's our skinned muskrat. Snap them out a little bit to get some of that moisture out of them. Yeah, there we go, guys. There's our skinned muskrat. The skull we do have a market for. So for a muskrat skull, just give them a twist and a pull. That muskrat skull comes right off of there. So we'll just remove this carcass real quick. There is value in this muskrat carcass. If you guys look for them as well, this meat, there's value there. I'm just gonna put in that bucket there for now, but yeah, guys, it's just kind of a beginning tutorial on how to skin a muskrat. Very simple stuff. Just take your time. I was taking my time there. Hopefully you guys could kind of follow along with that pace I was doing. Next video will be me showing you guys how to put up a muskrat. They are very simple. Probably the easiest fur bearer to put up would be a muskrat. A mink would be barely above that. They're both relatively simple. We'll be leaving the saddle, which I will explain in the put-up videos. We'll be leaving the saddle on both of them, so that's important. So anyways, guys, if you're new to muskrat trapping, you want to learn how to handle them yourself, maybe look at the next video that'll be on the channel. It'll be about fleshing and drying muskrats. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and until next time.